welcome back, everybody.
Yeah, welcome. We're happy to have you. And here's a little bit of introduction as to what you're going to hear today.
Yeah, well, we're gonna talk about some teeth.
Yeah, look, anytime you're eating lunch, you just got to be on the lookout for things that maybe shouldn't be where they are.
Yeah, we also talk about colonoscopies.
Who doesn't love a good colonoscopy?
Raise your hand. Raise your hand.
We also talk. We talk about God, and we kind of have a cool little prayer story there.
Yeah, we also talk about eyelashes once again.
We do bring that back. Look, one of our earlier episodes, one of the hottest takes that we've ever had was regarding eyelashes, and we are going to talk a little bit more about it because why wouldn't we?
Yeah. And Brandon, hit it.
Oh yeah!
Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man on the moon.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Jinx, almost.
Yeah, almost jinx. How's it going, everybody?
Yeah. Let's do this one as an interactive. Like, we'll talk and then we'll ask the audience some questions. We'll see how that goes as a podcast.
You have to answer out loud. Like,
Yeah.
No matter where you are.
Yeah, we're just going to wait. We're going to wait
Yeah.
for the response.
Yeah.
This is going to be the worst episode ever.
You'll be in the bathroom and like, so what do you guys like to do in your free time?
What you know what's funny? So like I don't allow you guys to take cell phones into the bathroom.
Yeah.
I spend way too much time in the bathroom because of my cell phone because I look at Reels or I'm on X.
Wow.
So what's the bathroom experience like because I don't allow it to happen for you?
Usually it's just in and out.
You're just in and out. Yeah. See, I'm like in, and then Renee's like, "How much longer are you gonna be in there?" And you're like, "Well, I mean, like you get on this thread, and you're like, I can't get rid of this thread."
Yeah. You're like Renee said, I had to go pee 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's a tough life where this is what we have to deal with.
Yeah.
All right. One of the things I want to talk about, I want to bring back one of our early episodes. We talked about eyelashes. Ooh, baby, I love your fake eyelashes.
Yeah.
That to me, I know that that's not a very well received take.
Yeah.
It's probably offensive to a number of women because they pay to get their eyelashes done.
Yeah.
There's a lady that I work with. I don't think she listens, but she recently got her eyelashes done.
Yeah.
And nobody at work, well, at least I'll say nobody. None of the guys at work, none of us noticed. We had no idea.
Yeah.
But who did notice is another lady.
Oh.
And she said, "Man, did you get your eyelashes done? They look great." And then I looked over and I'm like, "Would she get her eyebrows done or something?" Like I didn't notice. And it proved to the point to me again of like, that's a thing that other ladies do for other ladies. No guy.
Yeah.
Look, if you are the guy that you love those huge eyelashes, just you got to comment. You have to comment. You like text me, put a comment on Spotify, whatever. That no, like that's the thing that I love is some guys like boobs, some guys like butts, some guys maybe like eyelashes.
Yeah.
Are you an eyelash guy?
No. Are you?
No, man, I'm not. It's
like
I said, I don't even notice it. I notice it when it's ridiculous.
Like, what's it? I don't remember what episode of The Simpsons when they like Lisa is in the beauty pageant and this one girl has like eyelash extenders or whatever, and she always wins the pageant somehow.
It's because of the eyelashes. Maybe that's why they haven't asked me to be a judge on a beauty pageant.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's coming.
You just gotta say, baby, I love those fake eyelashes.
Ooh, baby, I love those fake eyelashes.
I wanna dive into something here.
Let's dive.
Okay, so Ralph lost his tooth.
Yes, he did. Oh, I'm glad you brought this up. I wanted to bring this up too. This is hilarious. Go ahead, rock with it, Johnny.
So Ralph lost his tooth, and if you lose your tooth, you're gonna keep it somewhere safe.
You're gonna put it under your pillow typically, so that you
Yeah.
can get the tooth fairy money, which
Yeah.
whatever
May or may not exist.
Yeah, the tooth fairy in our house. Let's tell the story. Then I'll tell you about the tooth fairy in our house because the tooth fairy in our house stinks.
Yeah. But basically, so Ralph loses his tooth, and he like went downstairs with mom for something, and he sets it on the island, the middle table, and it's in a Ziploc bag, and the tooth is minuscule. So
It's
it's like,
it's a baby tooth.
yeah, it's invisible basically. And so I wake up the next morning, I'm like putting my stuff in like these Ziploc bags, and I see this.
You're getting your lunch ready.
Yeah, get my lunch ready. I see this empty Ziploc bag on the table. Fill it up with goldfish, and I took a lot of goldfish. To
You
school.
love goldfish.
I love it, and so I bring it to school. I'm eating it with my friend in my health class, and he's like, man, like he's like, thanks, Johnny, for these goldfish. I'm like, yeah, and the teacher walks by, and the teacher's like, man, I love goldfish. I was like, go ahead, take some, and then
Is it weird that the teacher's stealing your goldfish?
no, I like she just said that she loves goldfish, and then I offered it to her.
Should we bring her a box of goldfish?
Maybe. I don't know.
All right. So you're digging on the goldfish.
Yeah. And then I go to lunch. I eat like a lot of it, and then I go to my next class, and then I go to lunch, and then at lunch I'm sharing it with my other friend, and so we're eating goldfish.
Like how big? Like I feel like you have like a grocery bag full of goldfish at this point.
Yeah, it's like imagine you have a Ziploc bag, and you fill it to the brim with goldfish. That's about how much I bring to lunch.
All right. You love your goldfish.
Yeah. So basically he's eating it, and he's like, I'll finish off these crumbs. I'm like, wait a minute. I just want to take a couple more, and I'm taking them, and I see Ralph's tooth at the bottom of the bag, and I'm like, wait, hold it. What the heck is that? I take it out. I was like, it's my brother's tooth. And like my teacher even had some. So like I'm like, what?
Did you tell these people like, oh my gosh, this is my brother's tooth?
I told everybody at the table, like at our lunch table, we have a ton of people, and I'm like, dang, I just ate a whole entire bag of goldfish, but my brother's tooth was in it the whole entire time.
So, all right, let's. If you knew, like, say you're stuffing the bag full of the teeth, you put it in your backpack.
Wait, full of teeth?
Sorry, full of goldfish. You're stuffing the
Yeah.
bag full of goldfish, and then right as you're putting it in your backpack, right before you're about to leave, you see that tooth.
I don't know.
Are you getting rid of the goldfish, or you're like just gonna eat around it?
I don't know. I don't really.
Are you sharing it?
Yeah.
If you
100%.
know there's a tooth, they're gonna say, "Yeah, you go ahead," but they're just so you know, my brother's tooth's in this bag.
I probably wouldn't tell him either.
I mean, like, because it's like if your buddy who was your buddy who wanted to like drink the crumbs,
Yeah.
like that would have been terrible.
I basically just saved his life.
Basically saved his life.
Yeah.
You're welcome, friend.
Yeah.
Hopefully you listen to this podcast.
Nope. But like, and then I come home, and I'm afterwards I'm at volleyball tryouts, and then I see Ralph because Ralph's having a game or whatever for basketball, and I go up to him and was like, Ralph, I have your tooth. He's like, why do you have my tooth? And I'm like, I found it on the table, and I filled the bag up with goldfish, and I ate it all. And he's like, I don't want it. And now, so I'm like, well, you better take it or I'm going to lose it. And he's like, no, just bring it home and keep it safe. I bring it home and I lose it. And he blames, he's like,
I mean, I would blame you too. I mean, I guess you did try to give it to him, but
Yeah.
like he didn't want it that time. He's like,
no, but
I'm going to a basketball game.
he blamed it on me that I took the bag on the countertop. Like if you see an empty bag on the countertop, like that looks completely empty, and you're like, oh, somebody didn't use this. Are you going to take it?
Yeah, I mean, look, Ralph lost my AirPods. I'm a little bitter about it right now.
Yeah.
I'm going out of town tomorrow,
Oh,
and I really want AirPods so I can listen to stuff while I'm on the plane, and I don't have my AirPods because somebody lost them.
Oh.
And I'm not saying whose name it was, but it
You already
wasn't.
said his name.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it right now, but it rhymes with Bralf.
Interesting. There's only a couple words that rhyme with Ralph.
Yeah, good luck figuring it out. You'll
Yeah.
never solve this
I
mystery.
can't put my finger on it.
Yeah. All right. So, do you know what a colonoscopy is?
Yes. I know you drink a jug of stuff, and there are a lot of time is spent in the bathroom.
Yeah, you basically poop your brains out so that they can. What happens is there's a certain point in your life that they say, hey, you need to have a colonoscopy because you're of a certain age and there's cancers that can be caused or whatever. And so you drink a bunch of this diuretic causing liquid.
Does it taste good?
No, it's terrible. Like the entire experience is terrible.
Oh.
But there's a silver lining.
Oh.
And the silver lining is the anesthesia you get when you're having the procedure done.
Yeah.
Because anesthesia is wonderful. Now, there's a small subset of people that are allergic to it, and I don't know what they do. I don't know.
They just do it.
They're just awake.
Open-eyed.
They have this camera that goes shoved up their butt, and they're wide awake for it. Like, oh, this is uncomfortable. But I almost feel like a colonoscopy is worth it just for the anesthesia.
The anesthesia?
Yeah.
I actually want to get my wisdom teeth removed because of the anesthesia.
Well, so we're tired of doing that.
Actually?
Yeah, we did the anesthesia thing with Addie and Aubrey. Like when I got my wisdom teeth pulled, I didn't have any anesthesia.
Did it hurt?
No, well, I mean, it's like they give me the Novocaine. Have you ever had a cavity?
Nope.
Okay, so they give you this shot in your mouth. It's called Novocaine, and it numbs everything up.
Yeah.
So you can't feel it. But then the dentist that I went to, he gave me laughing gas. And so typically the sound of the drill, like to me, is kind of cringe, right? It's like fingernails on a chalkboard to somebody.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how the drill is. And when he was drilling out my teeth, like I remember laughing like that at one point. Like I had some that must have been like impacted or something like that down in deep. At one point, I remember this dentist, like he is standing on the chair.
Yeah.
And like leaning over, like bending over, trying to yank out my wisdom teeth, and I'm laughing my head off. Yeah, I mean, it was just. And so with Addie and Aubrey, they did the anesthesia thing. Aubrey has the infamous. I mean, I guess infamous in our family, so not like world famous, but like she was crazy.
Yeah.
Addison was a little crazy, but like
she was more like low key and chill.
Aubrey was crazy, like screaming, like songs.
Yeah, she's like,
she was emotional.
Oh, I hate this song. And then she sings every single word.
It was like a Shawn Mendes song or something. And then a Metallica song comes on, and she's like, yeah.
And she's like, dun, dun, dun. Yeah, it was yeah.
And then when she's home, she like starts I just want to go for a jog. We're like, Aubrey can't go for a jog. And she's like crying. We're like, oh my gosh. But so he's getting his wisdom teeth pulled here in the next couple of months, weeks, whatever. And we decided we're not going to do the dental office that we've gone to, that they just charge so much. It's not worth it.
I actually really want you to do anesthesia for me. Like, no more birthday gifts, just anesthesia for my wisdom teeth removed.
I mean, I probably know a doctor I can go just to give you anesthesia.
Because I want, I wonder what it's going to be like, you know?
It's like the best sleep you've ever had in your life. So the one time I've been under anesthesia, when I came up, like I wasn't goofy. I don't know why all these kids coming out of this anesthesia are super goofy like they are. What I remember coming out of anesthesia is I'm in this room, and then there's like some nurse lady, and her job is to like I guess watch over people as they're coming out of anesthesia. I don't know. And then all of a sudden, like she's talking to me like we're best friends.
Oh.
And at some point I look at her and I said, I'm sorry, do I know you? Because she's like, oh yeah, you played football in high school and this, that, and the other. Like, I have no idea what else I told her. I could have told her like my PIN number, my social security number, I have no idea what I told her, but apparently I told her a lot, where I was somehow thinking we were long friends because she's quoting stuff from my past.
Yeah. I don't know my PIN number or my security number.
Yeah, you'll probably high school age. You kind of need to start memorizing your social security number.
What,
you know your student number, don't you?
Yeah. Wait. What is the social security number?
So, when you're born, we register, like you're born as a kid, then you're registered as a U.S. citizen. I don't know how it all works because Renee did the paperwork stuff.
Yeah.
But every American citizen, you have a social security number, and so when you go and you apply for a job, they're going to ask you what's your social security number. And so you just have to you have it memorized.
Huh.
You just need to have it memorized, because when you fill out job applications, when you go to college, like you get a bank account, like you will always when you pay your taxes, You need your social security number.
Do you know your social security?
I do.
number?
I do know mine.
Do you like it? You don't.
Yeah,
wanna
I'll say
share
it right now. I'm
No,
going to say it right now. It's
you don't wanna
blah,
share it
blah-
with
No,
people,
you
right?
don't share it with. Yeah, I mean, no, you don't want to share it with people.
Why not?
So it's you can commit fraud, right? So like if people know my social security number,
Yeah.
they also know my first and last name. They can use that records to find my address, and so now they can start applying for credit on my behalf.
Or you could just ask for their first and last name and then commit fraud that way.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you need more personal identifying information. And so if you have the social security number, it makes it a lot easier to steal other people's information or to do applications on their behalf.
Huh.
Some people have, I haven't heard of this in a while, but some people, so like your credit score is also tied to your social security number.
Yeah.
Right. That's kind of like how it's tracked, because like the power company has that number, your cell phone companies like, and so if you're not paying these things, then they'll report you to collections and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so, so anyway, I know there's been parents where their socials, their credit score is in the tank.
Yeah.
And so they'll say, well, shoot, if we're we're moving houses and we need a new power bill, and I have to pay $500 in back bills to this company. Well, so what they do is they'll put the new power under their kid's name and social security number.
Oh.
Which there's an element of that where like, oh, okay, that's not a bad thing, because you can build up credit so that then when you're 18 and you want to get a credit card or a car loan or whatever, like you have somewhat of a credit history kind of attached to that. But what happens a lot of times is these parents are not good stewards of their credit, and so they'll screw you over.
Oh.
And
Did
so
you guys do that to me?
So no, we haven't done that yet, but we have done it with other kids. Like if we got a loan and we could like, hey, let's throw the kid on this loan because it helps build up your credit. We'll do that kind of stuff at times.
With who?
We did with Addie and Aubrey. David's not old. I mean, you have to be 18 and older than 18 to do that kind of stuff.
Oh.
So-
Addie's like, who just put this loan on my credit
Yeah,
card?
what the heck? No, we talk to them, but we don't do it without them knowing because they have to sign docs. So
Oh.
it's a good way to build up credit. Like, so there you go. There's your credit. There's your credit tip of the day. Like if you have a kid and they need some credit build up, then just throw them on the loan with you. Only if you're going to be responsible. If you're going to pay late, then don't, because you don't want to hose your kid's credit.
It's like husband, wife, and kid, and you're like, you have to pay your share too, bucko.
Yeah, bucko. Yeah, everybody pays in this house.
Well, thank you for joining us at Josh Haldeman Credit Tips.
All right, I'm gonna share a story with you real quick. I was debating whether I wanted to share this, but this story was impressive enough to me. I've thought about it a lot that I'm like, I'm gonna share it.
Mm.
So last week we were going up to Utah.
Yeah.
And I'll start off by being a little snarky because it wouldn't be a story if I wasn't a little bit snarky.
Yeah.
Women, their stereotypes exist for a reason, and Jonathan's coughing over here. So stereotypes exist for a reason. So like, one of the stereotypes is that women aren't as good as drivers as men. It's not always true, but generally it's kind of true. And the example I'll give is just look at the tires on a man's car versus a woman's car. And I guarantee you the rims are scraped up a lot more on a woman's car than they are on a man's. Now, that's not to say that a guy doesn't scrape the curb or the side of the street or whatever, because that happens. Like accidents are prone to happen. You take the U-turn too quick and you scrape and you're like, oh, that was dumb. Or the other thing that often happens is you pull up too far on the parking space.
Yeah.
Right. And then you're backing out and it kind of catches the bottom of the car and it's just a super awkward feeling because you're like, oh, is it going to rip the bumper off or whatever? Women are more likely to do that than men. Again, men have done it and they will do it in the future, and women have done it and they'll do it in the future. But if you were going to look at a statistic, women do it more often than men.
I wonder why that is.
Video games, probably. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're driving to Utah. 2 weeks prior to us driving, Renee's called me on her drive home, and she says, something sounds like it's dragging on the car. And I said, I was gone. I was at some event. I couldn't go to help her. I'm like, there's nothing I can do for you right now. You either need to call a tow truck or you just drive home with the scraping. She goes, oh, when I slow down, it doesn't make that noise. Well, excellent. Well, then let's just drive a little bit slower. So she drives, she gets home, she goes, gets the oil changed, and they say, oh yeah, look, these little clips came undone. You maybe went over a curb or like you parked too close to the thing and then it pulled off. This has been known to happen with this model of car. Okay.
Yeah.
So she gets it fixed. Great. We're driving to Utah and we're a couple miles past the speedway, and then immediately I mean, it is just dragging. I go, and Renee's like, "That's the sound it was making." And I'm like, "Oh,
Oh.
great." So I pull over, and I get out underneath the car, and I'm looking at it like, okay, I can see this thing's come disconnected. I can see how if you're going 85 miles an hour, it's going to be pulling it down. And so I'm like, all right, hey, do you have any tools in here? No, we got no tools. Okay.
Oh.
Do you have any like rope or zip ties? Nothing. Okay. And so I'm like, all right, let me try to like tuck this up underneath, and I'm doing the best that I can. I'm a banker. Okay, I'm not mechanically inclined. I am a banker.
If only I was there.
If only then we could have had more jokes and less fixing.
Yeah.
and so I put it up in there. Okay, I think this should be good enough. We're pull away. 10 seconds later, it's dragging again.
Oh.
So I pull over again, and I'm like, all right, I'm like trying to bend it more. I'm just okay, maybe this will work. And then we get back on the road. It lasts about 20 seconds this time, and then now it's dragging. And so I'm super frustrated. I'm like, well, there's nothing I can do. Like, well, let's just go to Moapa. So it's about probably another 10 miles.
Yeah.
And so, or however many it was. And so we're driving there. It's super annoying. Like, it's stressful because you're thinking like, great, are sparks flying? Is this car going to catch on fire?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, right. It'd be super cool. We pull into Moapa, and I go in there, and I like, okay, thankfully they had zip ties.
Yeah.
So I'm going in there, and I'm getting the zip ties. I'm trying to do it. The zip ties are super brittle, and based on the way the metal is, it's like very sharp, so it keeps snapping them. So I'm getting super frustrated. I go back in the store. They have some gauged wire.
Ooh.
I'm going to land this plane eventually. This story's going on, and I get it. So
Yeah.
they have some wire, and I'm like, oh, perfect. Okay, I'll get this. Now, I teach a Sunday school class, right? And I'm always telling these kids, like, hey, you got to look to God in all your thoughts.
Yeah.
And so, as I'm walking out, I said, okay, I need to look to God in my thoughts. And so I say a quick prayer. I'm like, God, if you could just send somebody that would have the tools that could fix this, that would be great. It was almost a sarcastic prayer, like, because I was just so frustrated with everything that was going on.
Yeah.
It was a prayer, but it was like, yeah, it'd be great if you could send somebody, like God's not like my waiter,
Yeah.
So I'm underneath the car. I'm trying to get it fixed. And then out of the blue, some guy comes by and he says, hey, is there anything I can do to help you guys out?
Wow.
And so I'm like, I kind of peek out. I'm like, yeah, here's what we're dealing with. And he kind of ducks his head underneath and is kind of looking at it. He goes, I got a truck full of tools, but
Really?
I don't think any of these tools will help you out.
Oh.
And anyway, to me, it was an answer to my prayer. Like, I thought it was interesting. Like I literally just prayed, God, send me somebody with tools that can help me fix this.
Yeah.
And he literally sent the guy in the parking lot that had tools over to help me fix it.
Whoa.
But I didn't need tools, right? I didn't I had already had what I needed. And so to me, it was a cool little story of like,
Yeah.
think of God, turn to God, know that he'll trust you and that he wants to bless you. We just got to ask.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my story. I know that's not very funny.
Yeah. But it's cool though. Yeah.
But it is cool. And it was great that I was able to make a stereotype out of it somehow.
Yeah. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Have you seen any movies recently?
This segment's brought to you by Cinemark. Get your movie pass.
Yeah.
$10 a month. Give it a movie ticket. 20% off concessions.
Yeah.
The movie I watched this past week is I didn't watch one.
Dang. Neither did I.
You were watching Venom. I've never seen that.
Oh, so it's not Venom 1. Venom 1 is good. Venom 2 is not that good. It kind of gets a little like dark because there's like I don't know, like a serial killer who's psycho.
He's like, oh, Lucky Charms, knife you.
No, but
Frosted Flakes, off with your head.
No, but basically somehow him and his like dream girl get separated.
What's this show that you introduced me to that's on Peacock?
Oh, St. Dennis Medical.
Okay, this is hilarious. I know it's not a Cinemark thing. I don't care.
Yeah.
St. Dennis Medical. I'm 2 episodes in. You've watched
All of them. All
yeah.
12, 13 of them.
Oh my goodness. This is like, please. I don't know if Peacock's free or not. I don't know what kind of version we have, but It is funny. It is St. Dennis Medical. It's like The Office hospital style.
Yeah, it's like a mix of The Office and Parks and Rec and Modern Family, kind of, all in one.
Yeah, it is a barrel of laughs, and I would say it is worthwhile.
Yeah. But yeah, I was watching the newest Venom. It just came out on Netflix. Not a sponsor, but yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna watch that show.
Mm.
Let's talk about our other sponsor, Doc R. Haldeman.
LLC.
bringing you
happiness,
health,
healing,
and holidays.
in a myriad of ways.
So David's playing volleyball. He had a big tournament this weekend, and he played his brains out Friday night. Like it was maybe the best I've seen him play. And the team looked great. They had a lot of really good victories. And, he woke up this morning and the shoulder was killing him.
Oh.
And so, Renee's using all of her tricks in the bag. Not bags in the trick. But
Yeah, bags in the trick.
She's doing all the bags in the trick to get him, back up and running. So she's using the microcurrent. She did cupping. She did wet cupping. She did the what do we use? What's the herb?
Microcurrent.
No. What's the homeopathic thing that we take? The
alcohol.
Arnica.
Oh.
Thank you, Arnica. No alcohol. But anyway, doing it, and he ended up not playing today because it's early in the season. It's not worth going out when you're injured just to play a game. And so, but later in the day he was like, man, I'm feeling good. Like he was ready to get back in and play.
Yeah.
And then the coaches were like, we got a whole season ahead of us.
Don't want to mess it up.
Maybe we need to go talk to Dr. Haldeman to get you some herbs so that you can stop that cough.
Yeah, I got sick over the weekend, before the weekend, during the week.
Yeah, how convenient. You stretched a weekend into a 3-day weekend.
Yeah, huh?
There's people at work that will do that where, they'll kind of start coughing on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then Thursday they amp it up a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh man, I'm really feeling sick. And then all of a sudden Friday they're like, well, I'm out.
Actually?
I don't know if they do it. I don't know if it's real or not, but I swear there's people that on Thursday like, oh man, I got such a headache, which a headache's an easy thing to fake.
Yeah.
Cough, maybe not as much, but you can totally start faking the headache. And then all of a sudden you're like Friday morning, you're like, oh, I'm sorry, boss. I can't go in. I'm so sick.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, well, you had that headache yesterday. That makes sense.
Yeah. You need here's a trick. So fake a headache, and then yell a lot. Just yell a lot, get parched, and, just mess up your voice.
And then you're like, hey, your voice is all cracking.
Yeah, and then if you yell a lot, then it should help you cough more.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's go do this.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Well, so yeah, Doc R. Haldeman, go see her,
702-258-7860.
Yeah, 702-258-7860. I do know. iWholeHealth.com is the website. Renaissance Health Center is where you can find her. And she's making a real difference in a lot of people's lives.
Yeah.
So, and look, check us out on Instagram. We got Cats in the Cradle podcast. A lot of the reels I've been putting on are the ones with Renee, and her kind of talking the health stuff. I need to stop being lazy, and I should go back to some of our funny moments and add some of those, because some of them, I go back and listen to the podcast where we had Addison on. That's a hilarious episode.
Yeah.
I was listening to that on the drive. Renee was behind. Kind of hurts my feelings a little bit that my own wife, she's 8 episodes behind.
She's on the podcast. She doesn't even listen to
it. when I'm making the reels and putting it together, she's always like, I hate the way my voice sounds.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
When you listen to it, or when you hear me doing stuff, are you okay with the sound of your voice?
About listening to it.
I know you don't. I know you don't listen to it.
I never listen to it.
And that's part of the reason I do it is because I gotta promote it, right? I gotta do. Yeah. I'm doing the gram. I'm doing these other things.
I don't listen to it because I don't know. I just don't feel like listening to myself talk.
So the reason I do it is it's quality control. I feel because I'll go back and listen. I'm like, oh, okay, Johnny, you need to speak a little bit more in the microphone, or it's oh, that was a funny story. Let's tell something like this, or oh, that was kind of dumb. Maybe we shouldn't do that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just don't like listening. In the future when I have kids or whatever, and they're like, I wonder what life was like back then, and then I'll listen to it. I'll put it on the car.
Let's play this out in the future, right? So you're 14 years old. So let's just hop forward 20 years. Okay, so you're 34. You're still a young buck. You're young, active, vibrant. You're 34 years old. So when I was 34, I had Addie, Aubrey, David, and you.
Oh.
And so maybe not you. Let's see. We were married. I was 22. Let's see. So 12. Yeah. How old are you? 14. Yeah,
yeah.
you were alive. You were around. But
Uh,
you would have been like, meh, like, worthless baby.
Oh,
Cute, but worthless. But so I could see like, okay, Addie, Aubrey, they're like 8 and 10 or something like that. Like I could see them being like, oh, this is kind of cool.
yeah.
I mean, like your cousin, who I know we've done a shout out a number of times to, Luna.
Yeah.
Jinx. Shout out to
Oh.
you, Luna. She said one time, she said she likes listening to our podcast when she's going to sleep. And the reason she likes it is because it makes it feel like she's at home.
When you go to sleep, aren't you at home?
And that's where the statement's hilarious, is because she is in her home.
In her bed. That's like
in her bed.
That's like the most homiest place you can get.
And look, I have never been in her bedroom. I just need to specify that.
Yeah.
But somehow her listening to this podcast in her house, in her room, makes her feel like she's at home.
Wow.
That's what you do, Johnny. You make people feel like they're at home.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not just me. It's a co-shared podcast.
Yeah, but we all know, like, I wouldn't be doing this without you.
Yeah.
But there's a strong possibility you could be doing this without me.
No. Wait. Yes. Wait. Can you repeat the question? No comment.
No comment. On that note, do you have anything else you'd like to share?
Nope.
I don't either, but thanks for listening. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And if you're eating those goldfish,
make sure you check the bag for a tooth.
Yeah, watch out for the teeth, man. It can be dangerous out there.
Yeah.
All right, take care. Have a good one.
Bye.